but we are running a little bit behind, so I will try to do my best. My name is Mike Tomasco. I am currently, for anybody who went to the 2 o'clock session I am currently the CIO at Fujifilm Diosynth Biotechnology. Before that, I worked at Pfizer. At that point in time, I met John Dyke, and I got involved. It was through ARC, actually. I got involved with the Smart Manufacturing Executive Council, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about that. I will try to do it as expeditiously as possible, and one of the partners on the Smart Manufacturing Innovative platform that's here with us today as well. But the point of the council is to get a bunch of really smart people from the industry together to try to improve the state of manufacturing in our country. I'm a true believer in how important that is to ourselves, our nation, our GDP, all these kinds of things. Buy American, it's always smart to do. Don't ask me what kind of cars I drive, but that's a different story. I buy them all used, so it does count in the US GDP. So we're going to talk a little bit about what must be true in this smart manufacturing world to really make things happen. And I thought I just moved from a $64 billion company to a $1.5 billion company. I thought I moved to small. Nope. I just learned what small really is, and I'm super impressed by what you just went through. Like, I don't think I could do that. So I give it up to you. It's really awesome. So what must be true? We're asking things of different people out there, right? We get together as a group. We've talked about a bunch of things. This Smart Manufacturing Innovation platform, I think, was an idea that John and the team had. And he's like, hey, what do you guys think this should be? We're like, there's key principles that we have in different categories. So technology providers, we hear this all the time. We heard it this morning, Mike from Exxon talking about things being open. I believe a lot in this. I can't tell you how many times vendors have come to me. Hey, I've got this sensor, and you can hook it up, and it gives you vibration data, and it goes directly to our cloud, and we analyze it for you. And I'm like, that's great. I need 5,000 of those, and I need the data in my own cloud with all my other data, right? It's one of those interesting dilemmas as technology kept changing and innovations were coming. Everyone's trying to come up with value-add services that are proprietary. We've got to break that mold, and our data wants to be free and shareable and intermixed with each other so we can really make a difference. So that's the point of this one. Cybersecurity, super important, right? If we're not locking everything down or having the segregated networks that we heard about before, we could have huge exposure and be shut down. We could have product loss. We could have IP loss. There's all kinds of things that are problems. So we need all this stuff to work together, but yet be seriously locked down at the same time. Interesting and fun. So leadership. So people we all work for and with. We really need our leaders to take a strong stance on this is important, because otherwise it really won't happen, right? They can marshal the troops and the resources of the entire environment of your company to make this happen and make it real. I try to, in my roles, bring this type of leadership to what we want to do. I'm brought in to try to make a difference, right? I hope to make a positive difference over time in how we look at things. I like to baseline things on foundational elements of where do we start, where we're trying to go, and then move up that curve. The reason I love coming to events like this is to meet everyone else and see what everyone's journey's like. We all have the same problems. We all have data issues. We all have quality issues. Like, we're trying to move up that maturity curve, and we can learn from one another. And through groups like this, we can definitely make things like that happen. The supply chain ecosystem, this is a big part of it. We want to be connected, right? We don't work individually anymore, really. We all have many, many suppliers. They have suppliers. Those suppliers have suppliers. Now there's regulations about tracking different types of products through supply chains. So in the pharma world, we always had that need to serialize finished goods and track and trace those. But you now have to go back in your supply chain to track the source of everything and understand where it's coming from. And when we have interoperable communications capabilities, we have more options for doing that in a way that's easier than maybe it is today. If I think about some of the ESG journey, it's the same thing. When we're asked to look at those scope 3 emissions, the first thought I have is, man, that's so hard. Like, that's so outside of my control. Like, I know what we do, I know what we make, I know the energy we use, those types of things, but I have to go now ask everybody what they do. That's one of those things where I'm not actually sure that's well thought through yet. I think we're still trying to figure that out. Like, it's important to understand, but how much effort do you put into that when everyone's doing it differently as well? Very interesting to think about. Machine builders are friends, right? Let's make everything with 1952 technology and never upgrade it, right? I'd be lying if I didn't say everywhere I've worked probably still has Windows NT running somewhere, little MS-DOS. We probably have a VAX machine in a corner somewhere. You know, I actually learned how to program on that. Like, that was a long time ago. Those things are tough to upgrade sometimes, right? So we need to look at modernization so that we can optimize things. Interoperability is so important. It looks like more and more machine builders are coming to that thought process. The proprietary ones, we're all migrating away from, right? We all know suppliers where maybe that's not our choice moving forward because they're hard to work with, or they're hard to get the data out of their stuff so we can do something with it, unless we pay them many more licenses like we just heard, which is always very frustrating to what's going on. Oh, the consultants. Anybody a consultant? To be fair, I was one for the first 10 years of my career. I've joined the light side of the force now. I'm actually creating value that lasts. But listen, it takes one to know one. It's a tough job. It actually is. We pay them a lot of money to come in and tell us what we already know. I live that a lot. But people seem to listen to that. But what we need from this is being recorded, isn't it? I love my consultant partners. They actually are great. I'm just making some jokes to make this move along. But the point of this slide is we have to own our own stuff, right? If we don't have our own organization living the dream with our partners, because we often have to bring people in to help us. We don't have unlimited people and resources. And I hope that they're on that same journey with us, right? That's the point of this. If they come in to say, you're going to go do this, and then they leave, it's not going to be a long-lasting solution that you can maintain. You've got to do these things together, and we have to take the lead as a leader. Let's not forget this. So I was on my local school board for 9 years, president during the pandemic. That was fun times. It was very interesting. But this all goes back to education as well, right? We don't do a good job in this country, like some others do, about teaching people that trades are important. Manufacturing is important to we told everybody for the last 20, 30 years, you have to get a college degree to get ahead. That's not necessarily true. So there's different ways we can look at this and imbue out in the ether, the environment, the fact that this is a good career path for people. You can raise a nice solid family in a manufacturing type job. We need people to understand that this is where we need to go. We also need them to teach things that are modern, right? So I think they do a little bit better job of that lately. I'm getting the look, and I think that's it. Well, it's not it, because I have my partner here. SAS, so the Smart Manufacturing Innovation Platform is something that allows different partners to plug into the ecosystem of this concept of interoperability. So you can get your capabilities certified to work, and there are certified practitioners on this stuff too now that understand the framework, the interactions, and can help you plug and play with these various capabilities. SAS happens to be one of them. They have some pre-made capabilities that help with data integration, data aggregation, and then ultimately taking advantage of what their platform offers, which is all the dreams of how do I take this data and do the AI fun stuff with it and do the analytics and all that. I like the hardcore math first, the AI second, and then the delightful experience. I'm calling back to everybody here on the stage from before. I love that concept and theory, and we get through there. We'll end on this. It's a journey. We're all on it. There are resources that are there to help you. SESME and the Smart Manufacturing Institute is one of those. You can talk to John later or during the week, and you can join up as well, participate with some of us that like to try to make a difference in the world, and that's what we're all about. So thanks.